Have you ever felt a lie before you heard it? It's a cold spot in the room, a shift in the air that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. I felt it that Tuesday night, standing in the quiet of our master bedroom in our Lincoln Park brownstone. My wife, Jessica, was humming a little off-key as she unpacked her overnight bag from a supposed work conference in Naperville. Her movements were too light, too cheerful. It was the forced, brittle happiness of someone performing for an audience of one. And then I saw it, peeking from the side pocket of her purse, a crisp folded corner of a hotel receipt. It wasn't from a chain hotel in the suburbs. The logo was for the Peninsula, downtown Chicago. My blood ran cold. That single piece of paper was a thread, and I knew if I pulled it, my entire world would unravel. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For 10 years, Jessica was my everything. We built a life together, brick by brick. I was the steady architect. She was the dazzling interior designer. I thought our foundation was solid, built on trust and late-night laughter. But for the past few months, the laughter had faded, replaced by the constant, irritating buzz of her phone. Late-night texts she'd angle away from me. Vague excuses about client dinners that stretched past midnight. I'd ask, "Who was that?" and she'd wave a dismissive hand. "Just work, honey. You know how demanding the new project is?" She made me feel small for asking, paranoid. Her arrogance was a shield, deflecting any suspicion with a perfectly crafted eye roll. It's making me the villain for doubting her. She was so good at it, I almost believed her. The conference was just the latest in a string of strange behaviors. She'd become cold, a beautiful marble statue in our bed, flinching at my touch. The woman I married was gone, replaced by a stranger who looked just like her. The villains always feel untouchable, don't they? They move through the world wrapped in a bubble of their own lies, convinced of their superiority. I saw it in her eyes. A flicker of contempt when she looked at me as if my loyalty was a weakness. One evening, she was on the phone, her back to me, her voice a low, intimate murmur. I heard her laugh, a soft, throaty sound I hadn't heard in years. "Oh, stop it, you," she whispered, and my heart seized. She hung up the second she saw me. "Wrong number," she said, her face a blank mask. The lie was so blatant, so insulting, it was like a slap. That was the night something inside me finally broke. The grief came first, a tidal wave that left me hollowed out, sitting in my car in a deserted parking garage, the city lights of Chicago blurring through my tears. The man who loved his wife died in that car. In his place, a different man was born. A patient, strategic, and utterly ruthless man. My revenge began not with a bang, but with a click. The click of a keylogger I installed on her laptop. The click of a private investigator's camera shutter. His name was Mark, a real estate developer with a smug smile and a corner office overlooking the river. I watched them through the PI's long lens photos, lunch at a bistro on Rush Street, his hand on the small of her back. A weekend trip to a winery, their heads close together, sharing a secret. I read their text, sickeningly sweet and dripping with disdain for me. "He's so predictable," she wrote. "He actually believes I'm at a yoga retreat." Mark's reply, "Let the puppy have his fantasy. We have reality." The humiliation burned, but I channeled it. It became fuel. I gathered everything, bank statements showing lavish gifts, hotel receipts, screenshots of their plans to drain our joint accounts before she'd serve me with divorce papers. She was planning to leave me with nothing. She thought I was a fool. She had no idea I was building a cage. The trap was set for the annual charity gala her firm hosted, the pinnacle of her social calendar. It was at the Art Institute of Chicago, a place filled with beauty and soon, unbearable ugliness. I knew Mark would be there. He was a major donor. 2 weeks before the event, I liquidated a portion of our joint investments, the portion I was legally entitled to, and moved the funds into a private account, contacted a bulldog of a divorce attorney, laying out the mountain of evidence I'd collected. We prepared the filing, ready to be submitted the morning after the gala. The final piece was social ruin. I created a simple, elegant website. The domain name was Mark's full name. The only content was a slideshow. Every photo, every hotel receipt, every damning text message, set to a slow, melancholic piano score. The night of the gala, Jessica was radiant in a backless black gown, a diamond necklace, a gift from him, I now knew sparkling at her throat. She floated through the crowd, oblivious, while I played the part of the doting, slightly boring husband. Mark found her by the Chagall windows, his hand immediately finding her waist. They looked so perfect, so untouchable. At exactly 9:45 p.m., as Jessica's boss took the stage to thank the donors, I made my move. I had hired a tech consultant who, for a generous fee, sent a single anonymous email to a list I'd compiled. Every board member, every major client of her firm, every society columnist in the city, and of course Mark's wife. The subject line was simple: the truth about Jessica and Mark. The body contained only a link to the website. I watched from across the room as the first phone lit up, then another and another. A confused murmur rippled through the elegantly dressed crowd. I saw a board member's eyes widen as he scrolled. I saw a rival of Jessica's gasp, then slowly smile. The change was electric. People started whispering, turning to stare at the couple by the window. Jessica's smile faltered. She saw the looks, the pointed fingers. She pulled out her phone. Her face, when she saw the website, was a masterpiece of horror. The color drained from her cheeks, her arrogant composure shattering like glass. Mark saw it too, his smugness dissolving into pure panic. He backed away from her as if she were contagious, practically ran for the exit, his wife's furious call already buzzing in his pocket. Jessica was left alone in the center of a silent, staring circle. Her social world, her career, her reputation all incinerated in the space of 5 minutes. She looked at me, her eyes pleading, finally understanding. I just held her gaze, my expression unreadable, and gave a slight, almost imperceptible nod before turning and walking away. The next morning, she was served with divorce papers, citing the infidelity clause in our prenup. She lost everything: the house, the money, the friends, the job. Sometimes, late at night, I walk by that old brownstone. There's another family there now. I hear their laughter through the open windows, and it feels like a memory from someone else's life. I didn't find happiness in my revenge, not really. I just found quiet. The quiet of a battlefield after the war is over, when the only thing left is the cold, silent truth of what was lost.